Thanks for joining me on Life and Surround. Man, life has been absolutely crazy lately with US politics, the election, counting the votes. We're all waiting to see how that shakes out. Death in my family due to COVID-19. Lots of family members infected, lots of infections and deaths in my country. Oh man. Just stuff going on with my personal life and with work. So I've been slowing down on videos a little bit, but I wanted to get around to this one. It's going to be a little quick and dirty. If you watch this channel very often, you know that I sometimes dig like super deep into surround mixes with graphs and slides and breaking out musical examples. None of that today. We're just going to examine Tears for Fears, The Seeds of Love box set. It's finally here, so we're going to look at the set, talk about some of the features, talk about the mix, of course. So, little backstory. Steven Wilson did the 5.1 mix for this album, so hooray for that, because he is a genius, and this is a great album. So, great album meets great surround engineer. It's a win. So if you're just interested in whether this surround mix is cool and you should check it out, you definitely should. There is one caveat to discuss with the surround mix, but we'll get to that. The set. Beautiful, beautiful set. You get the cover represented nicely on the front of the box. You get this hype sticker, which if you're a total nerd like me, you keep. You get a booklet with lots of cool photos. Here are the guys. The two main mamma jammas. More essay and interview type of stuff than I've even had time to completely get through. But what I have read has been just fantastic. Here we go. Super good booklet. Not only includes information about our two main dudes, but also the supportive musicians on this album. And so one cool thing about The Seeds of Love is that they relied more on an organic band, including live drums, live bass, live percussion, and less on drum machines. So this feels like way less 80s, way less thin, way less sterile than some of the 80s type of production that I really don't like very much. One more picture from the book. So fantastic book. And then you also get this smaller booklet, which I think is supposed to be a replica tour booklet, because it is all about the tour. And there you'll learn like way more about the contributors to this album. So, Seeds of Love, it's definitely different than Songs from the Big Chair. Songs from the Big Chair definitely packs a bigger punch in terms of like the hits that it delivers. But this album, I like it better, probably because of the organic musical feel. And the guys really wanted to take a different musical approach after a chance run-in with Oleta Adams, and I may not have said her name correctly, but she's basically like a singer and pianist that they saw in a club one night. And even though Songs from the Big Chair was just hugely successful, they completely wanted to change directions and go more organic, and so they also hired these folks. So we have percussion, we have backup singing, more advanced guitar playing, and like, look, they even include her as like part of like the triad here. So she's very, very important to the direction that this album took musically, and I just wish that she appeared on more tracks. If my memory serves, she's on like the first couple of tracks, and then is less present throughout the rest of the album. But, alright, so you get those two books. You get 4 CDs featuring the album in stereo on CD, and then 3 CDs full of like extra stuff. So demos, instrumentals, alternate mixes, alternate edits, so like the radio edits of the songs that they used as singles, and the little sleeves that the discs come in are themed the sun, the moon, the wind, the rain, which is a lyric from the opening track and I believe also the final track, if I was listening closely enough. And so each of the disc booklets have like their own art. You get the sun, the moon, the wind, and the rain, all very stylistically presented. Seeds of Love has like its little heart picture. So yeah, very cool. And then the Rain, the 5th disc, is the Blu-ray. And it's got Steven Wilson's 5.1 mix, which in my opinion is a delight. And okay, so what more is there to talk about? Steven Wilson, per usual for himself, has delivered an extremely discreet mix that still honors the feel of the album that we know and love. Mostly main elements up front with supportive elements all around you. There are deviations from that formula throughout the album. The one caveat that I was going to discuss is that some listeners report an absence, like a decreased presence, of the main vocal during the title track, Sowing the Seeds of Love. And all I can say is that on my main system, my home theater system, my 5.1 capable but like Atmos and RO3D capable system, I do not experience any lack of presence in the lead vocal for the title track. Your mileage may vary, and even the people who say they've experienced that discrepancy like haven't stated that it's like a deal breaker, like they're still happy to have experienced this 5.1 mix. So another tidbit about the Blu-ray, I was kind of surprised that it didn't include any interviews or like even the promo videos that were shot for the Seeds of Love, you know, like marketing effort. I thought that would have been cool, but what you get is the album in high-res stereo. You get, I think, you get the original mix of the album. You definitely get Steven Wilson's 5.1 mix lossless. You get 2015 Andrew Walter remaster and the original 1989 Bob Ludwig master, all lossless. So that is a tremendous value. I just think it would have been cool if there had also been some video content of some sort. So do I recommend this set? Absolutely. It is a killer follow-up album. Tears for Fears definitely took a bold and courageous direction after Songs from the Big Chair. They didn't simply seek to replicate that effort, and I commend them for that. I love this album musically. Woman in Chains, Sowing the Seeds of Love, The Year of the Knife, and what's the other big one that I really dig? Bad Man's Song is pretty cool. Swords and Knives. I don't know, man. Basically the whole thing. Oh, Advice for the Young at Heart. So yeah, they're, you know, about half the album is like very hooky, catchy, memorable, and then I think the other tracks also stand up very well, particularly due to the emphasis on musicianship. This album cost the band £1 million to produce and took quite a few years. And being a musician and a composer and a music producer, not lately, but in the past myself, I definitely have some sympathy for the amount of effort that goes into the reward from a finished piece of music. So was it worth it? Like all that expense and all that time and effort? In my opinion, it is a great album. So whether they could have arrived at it like easier, who can say? But what happened happened, and now we have the Seeds of Love in 5.1 on Blu-ray, available in this box set. I don't recall exactly what the price was, but it was like better better priced than the recent Rolling Stones Goat's Head Soup fiasco, and you actually do get a worthwhile, discreet, well done 5.1 mix without mastering issues, with the possible exception of that title track on some people's systems. Not sure what's going on for them, but I hope that if you have this, it's been happy listening. I want to see your comments. Don't forget, if you like what I do, to like the video, comment, share the video, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you haven't already. All that support helps get this channel out to more people. And look forward to hearing your thoughts on this album, on the mix, whether the title track causes you any trouble, particularly if you did anything to correct that, because there are people out there that have experienced that issue, and I would love, like, not just to state that it's an issue, but maybe find them the solution. Alright, so that's enough for now. I'm gonna sign off. Until next time, live life and surround.